Dilla. J Dilla. J Dilla. Craig. All right, let's go live. What's going on, Craig? Hope you're well, fam. I see you, man. Pinging a few friends real quick. Oh, turn my phone on Do Not Disturb and some other shit. Like, act like I got stuff to do. So I'm looking forward to hanging out today with Lindell Hunter, amongst others. Lindell Hunter is our BPS Spotlight today. And I just want to say, hey, I want to say good morning to all the peeps, the family over on FB. What's happening? Hope that you're well. Drop a line. Let me know how you're doing this morning, afternoon, maybe where you are, evening. You know, at this point, can't tell. I had to say good day to everyone at this point. So I hope that you all are doing well. I'm looking forward to having a great time today. Great conversation in the best way as always. And so, in the meantime, for those that are over on Facebook and YouTube, Clubhouse, download it right away. Clubhouse audio chat app. This is where I am. Besides Facebook and YouTube, this is where I am live, where we can talk and have conversation. You can chime in. I can actually hear your voice because we're just hanging out on the phone. So I enjoy this because I like this better than being able to just respond to text comments. Now, you can't really tell the context people are speaking in when you're just reading text comments, and then it takes too damn long to just even get through. Hey, Marcy, come through. What's up, Marcy? Yes, it just takes way too long even to just get through. So what I'm saying is, yeah, let's talk about the look of love, right? That was J Dilla, 432 Hertz. Dude, 432. When I looked at him like, dude, 432. But yeah, if you listen to what the guy was singing, it makes sense. And this is the look of love, part 2, J Dilla. J Dilla with these bass lines, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. J Dilla. Yeah. What's up? It's the AP Morning Show. We're here today. So, yeah, like I was saying to my Facebook family, download Clubhouse, audio chat. Look for me at Aaron Hill TV over here on this thing. Just call the telephone. That's really all it is. I'm really saying that Clubhouse is telephone 2.0 because it gives you the ability to meet with the people that you know and the people that you don't know. Give you the opportunity to meet some new people in real time, like the dude Booski, who I just hit up. Booski 360. That's a hell of a name. Booski, come through, fam. Catherine Semper, hello. Kalisha. You know, I'm thinking about people whose faces I've seen since the very, 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 very beginning. People who I met from all over the world. You got Felicia, you got Kalisha, you got the family, the AP family, where it all started. So it's wild because of the fact that, you know, I've been telling a lot of people, like, many times the people here that I speak with on a daily basis are people that I actually don't know in real life. Then there are people like Alice Snow. Hey, Alice. So good to see you. We're going to be hanging out in a few in a couple more minutes. I'm just pinging in a few friends. You can feel free to do the same. A few people who I know that would really enjoy this conversation. So I've gotten a chance to meet so many people, 1,300 currently to be exact. 99.9% of those people, which are people that I've never met in real life and that I don't actually know in physical life yet. And then you have a few that are my family coming from other pages and other spaces, other areas of of these here internets. What y'all like when someone put an S on internet? Oh, you on them internets again? Thought there was only one in the world. Alright. So, in getting in order, this is what I want to say. It's many people who I've met here from the very beginning, which for me was December 3rd to be exact. I've been saying December 10th for the longest time, but I looked at my profile the other day. I'm like, wait a minute. I've been here since December 3rd, actually. Yeah. And so since that time, I woke up one morning and I was like, you know what? I want to put this Clubhouse thing to use because I can see how I can use it. But I can also see this thing is addictive because, god damn, it feels good to just talk to people. It feels the intimacy. You don't feel socially distant. Feel up close and personal. And we get it done. We make some things happen here. So I was like, you know what? I want to use this to be an accountability partner to my damn self. I want to get up 7:30, be on my way. I get up at 6, stretch, meditate, get my mind right, elevate, And I'm like, by 7:30, I want to be up and at 'em. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to create a room, a conversation that just says, hi, good morning. I'm your 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time accountability partner. And my only goal would be to say good morning or good day to as many people that I could in life. Meet some new people along the way. Check in accountability. And that's what we've been doing here ever since. So with that, I'm ready to do it one more time. Ready to stop running my mouth and actually do it. So yeah, I'm going to invite those up to the stage. If you'd like to come to the stage, by all means, throw up a wave. Would love to say hey to your beautiful face in the place. And we're going to get this conversation going. Yes. I see Alice coming up. All right, let me act like I know. You gotta act like you know sometimes. Alice, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, all. Good morning, Aaron. Good morning, all.
Hey, Alice.
Yes, I hope everyone's having a grand rising, a great day.
Yes.
So far, great morning. Look, I'm new to Clubhouse and I'm trying to learn how to use it correctly. I've been checking out some rooms. Normally it's so many people when you never get a chance to speak. But you're gonna if I got a couple minutes to tell what happened to me yesterday in a room, you would love this, Aaron.
Okay.
You would absolutely love this.
All right, well, go ahead and tell me. Go ahead and tell me what happened. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I looked at a room. It was like a church room, a spiritual room. I recognized a lady that I used to go to church with. Over at New Psalmist, and I recognized it. It was a small room, so they got on me, saw that I had entered, and they greeted me and they invited me up to speak.
Okay.
But you know how I got the
Got to feel things
UFO
out.
stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and on my profile, and I had put it on my profile, and so we were speaking about, they was praying for me. Then all of a sudden, the woman started speaking in tongues
Okay.
and over me, and I was like, that don't sound familiar, because my mother, who
Mm-hmm.
knew before she passed on. So I said, well, I still have communication with my mother. Like, her passing has not, totally stopped our communication, because we were
Mm-hmm.
as close best friends, and
Mm-hmm.
when she was living, and she passed. So, oh my God, they got on me, Ernest, so bad. Oh, you're not supposed to be practicing necromancy, and
Uh-huh.
you're not, and we noticed on your profile you got UFO
UFOs.
tattoo, and and I say, see, I can say this because that's why black folks is so Negroes or whatever, indigenous. It's so stereotyped. Is because we follow real dumb rules, like ancient rules. And if they didn't kick me out from
Uh-huh.
speaking, I was getting ready to ask them, have they heard of the apocryphas,
Right.
the 100 lost books, and what
Mm-hmm.
do they think?
Yeah, what do they
What
think
has
about
been
those
in those
about those sources?
100 books?
Let,
Yeah,
let me tell you.
I,
So I'm glad that you're sharing this. I always love a good story, especially as we get this thing going. So, this is the best thing about Clubhouse to me, right? It's because you get all of the above. And what happens is, yeah, they were on a completely different tip than you were. But what's going to happen is that you will get a chance on that stage to speak and even say those things like, hey, well, what do you think about this? Well, I know that this is where you come from. This is what you understand. This is what you work with. But hey, have you ever heard of this? And the beautiful thing about this app, now mindful, you have to curate your experience. I tell people all the time, like, if you out here in these Clubhouse streets and you come back and your experience is like, oh my gosh, this thing is crazy, this is terrible. Hey, it's just like the world. What that really means is, out in the real world, your ass does not stay with the people that flow your way. You stay in the wrong places and put yourself around the
right,
wrong damn people. So anyway, I say that to say that what you just shared, is definitely something that is pretty common. You have people from all walks of life, all kinds of experiences, all opinions. And the best thing is that we get a chance to chop it up together and just, hey, deal. I have a manifesto that I wrote, and I put it on Instagram. In fact, I'm going to navigate to my Instagram right now, and I'm going to share a little bit of it with you all. If you never heard this before, this is my manifesto about Clubhouse, and I wrote this as soon as I got on this app. I'm resharing it right now to my Instagram story. So if you look at my story in 3, 2, 1, there it is. You're going to see this. Clubhouse, the Clubhouse app, and I'll add people like ourselves that are intentional and mind our business and know what our business is and isn't, and curate our experience maturely and don't blame the rest of the world, are the answer to all humanity's problems. And yes, I said all. Here's why. Every day I understand more and more why I feel so deeply that it's the answer to every problem we've ever had as humanity, because it teaches us how to be a better humanity. We get a chance to talk to each other. Right? It teaches us how to be a better humanity, work together, have conversations, and check our egos at the door. You have to, if you agree to listen in or be a part of the conversation, you have to listen to both opinions in alignment with yours and not. You have to allow others to speak. Be mindful of others. Be your real, authentic self. Treat others with respect. Help people versus just selling to them. Be accountable to others. Be empathetic. Be patient. Be honest. Say thank you and please, etc. And exhibit decent manners and disagree amicably. And the list goes on and on. And the literal development of the app is the process of the creators learning how to help us to be a better humanity. So again, it doesn't mean that everything you run into is going to be your cup of tea. But what it means is that there are full course meals out there for you. All you got to do is just mind where you are and be mindful. So yeah, Alice, that was something. And I can only imagine you were like, wow.
They kicked me off before I could, they knew that they was like scared of me or something. Because the UFO experience was the UFO contacting, and the fact that I said, well, my mother, visits me spiritually. Everybody have different spiritual experience in this world. I mean, can't nobody tell the other person, well, you're not experiencing that, because they have never experienced it. It doesn't mean that the other person have never experienced it. We need to just sit back and learn from each other. Either if you agree with it or not, don't chop a person down. So, see, that's why people leaving churches and droves now. Because of, that same attitude, that I experienced yesterday. And they just kicked me on. They wouldn't let me even speak. And when they found out, looked at my profile, it was like, oh my God, the devil was here.
Look, it's, fear will do that to you. Fear will do that to you. But let me tell you one other thing. Then I want to reset the room, say hello to the family. Speaking of the family, I want to say hello to Jan, hello to Marcy, Eunice, Rome. Whoa, man, good to see ya. And so, family, you know what it is, family. If you'd like to come to the stage, come on to the stage. Micah Smith. Looking forward to everybody. Wednesday night, if you are in Baltimore, Keystone Corner, Fruition Experience and Friends featuring Micah Smith. It's going to be freaking amazing. Okay. All right. Yes, more on that in a few. But what I wanted to say is this, and if you all like to come to the stage, go on and throw up a wave. We're about to fill the stage. I'm going to continue to move through. Also at 9 a.m., 8 minutes, Lindell Hunter, our BPS Spotlight business, product or service coming through. And so in the meantime, we're going to chop it up. But yes, this is what I wanted to say. Okay, so Alice, here's the deal, right? I wrote that manifesto because it's my favorite thing about this app. All right. I speak about fear. The fear was there and is what allowed them to do what they did. Hello, Charlotte. Thanks for hanging out. What they did, though, was something, even though it was in the midst of fear, it was also something that was in the midst of a larger decision that actually was stepping past and beyond fear. What I mean is, my whole manifesto is about the fact that you have to step beyond fear even to be here. So here's the thing. They might have kicked you off stage then, but they are a bit more open than they were before you spoke and before they decided to do what they're doing in this app. Because just by putting yourself here, you're putting yourself in an environment where you are to some degree taking a step of courage to be challenged or for there to be something that's out of your norm that you have to deal with. Because if you don't, you're not going to be talking to anybody in here. You have to be somewhat open. Now, so you had an effect on them, whether you know it or not, because of their decision, which I call the intention, and then the serendipity of you being here and the intention you set and you being all the way there on that stage. Always walk through this app the same way that you walk through life, with that balanced approach, where you know that, okay, not everywhere you go is going to be your cup of tea or you be somebody else's cup of tea. But if you can balance that out, with also being in spaces like this and other places where it is your kind of energy, your kind of flow, then I promise you'll have the best experience possible in this app. And I can't wait, because you are a voice in multiple ways and a personality in multiple ways. And
thank you.
And what I told you before pulling you into this app, I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, Alice's personality is the thing that's going to allow everything to be successful for her in this environment. So, boom. So glad to see you, Alice. And good morning to you.
Oh, good morning. I'm going to check you out for a while, because I had to go back to sleep. I had a sleepless night. But I said, while I'm up, I'm going to have to check out Aaron's show for a while.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
All right, Alice. Well, if you want to hang around, you can either hang around here on the stage, which means from time to time, if you have something to say, you can open up your microphone and chime in. If you just want to listen in, then you can move back to the audience and hang out. And by all means, I just thank you for coming through. Good morning.
But how do I move back to the audience?
So hold your profile picture down, and then you should see some options. And one of them should be move to the audience. That'll be a good Lord. I get a chance to do tutorials, yo. That's what's up. All right. So if you see it now, so there you go. I love it. I want to do a quick refresh. Say hello to Andrala. Hello. Good morning. Good day to you. T, Micah, Eunice, Marcy, Alice, as well as the family hanging out over on the F to the B's Facebook. Speaking of which, if you want to hang out with me on Facebook, which you really should, because you can see what I just did, which is make an absolutely silly, funny face. Just see me being a funny human being. You can come on over to Facebook and look for me at Aaron Hill TV. Same as here, at Aaron Hill TV. Look for the red and black profile pic that looks just like this sea green blue one, whatever the hell this is. And I'm also excited because my mother is now on Clubhouse. Okay, so I get to brag. My mother is on Clubhouse. My mother is on Clubhouse. I get to brag because I talk about my mom pretty much every day because of who I am and what she instilled me with. The first thing is being an absolute fool and being a goof troop. And then beyond that, so much education, so much exposure, wisdom. My mom is coming through today to talk about the fact that 2 days ago she was highlighted in a woman's magazine for all the work that she's been doing during the quarantine with her art. My mother is an artist. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Now, my mom's been an artist in many ways as far as the way she's designed life and even designed my life. But my mother never thought that she would actually be a real physical artist in life. And then here she is. So I'm going to share that article today, and she'll be here to talk about it in a few. But until then, come through, family. If you want to come to the stage, by all means, throw up a wave. I would love to say hey to your beautiful face. And if not, you just want to hang out in the background, listen to this, and allow it to be a part of your background experience, by all means, you could do that too. You could do that too. Most of all, thanks for coming through. Ro, good morning. What's happening, Ro?
Grand Rising.
Oh no,
Aaron.
oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Grand Rising. Well, oh no. Grandest of risings, Ro.
Yes.
Look, I said,
yes.
I told somebody, I said, next time somebody say Grand Rising to me, I'm literally just going to do that just for laughs. Like Grand Rising, like grandest of risings.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
What's up,
man,
bro?
I'm happy to hear. I'm happy to be here with you, man. It's been a while. I am happy to be here. You're a vibe. Your mom's a vibe. Like, it's amazing. Like, I'm proud of you, bro. Like, I've been watching you, you know?
Yeah.
And through that, man, you've been pushing through. You've been pushing through.
Thanks,
you've been pushing
bro.
through, you know?
Thank
your
you,
mom's
bro.
been right there, you know? She's been pushing through, and she's been painting the world with her art.
Right.
She's been painting the world with your art.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So, gratitude.
Yes, gratitude to you too, bro. And you are painting the world with your art too, bro. I'm seeing you. I'm on your lives like, bro. Like, you had me so pumped.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so pumped when I'm on your lives. You know, I love how you live life. I love how you persevere. I love how it's like positivity, like 100. Like, I love it, bro. You're an inspiration.
Thank you. You are as well. That's what we're sitting here for. That's our gift to the world.
There you go.
Ourselves, you know?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, bro. I could not agree with you more. So, what's been happening in Ro's world? How you been?
I've been amazing.
That's what's up.
I've been growing.
Yeah.
You know, I've been learning from lessons, you know?
Yeah.
Growing. Yeah. And it's important that we grow. The more we grow, the more we know. You know?
Bro,
we pass on that wisdom that your mom is going to come to this and bless us with, you know?
Yes.
Wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
100% for sure. Bro, I'm feeling you on that. Bro, what is the name of your podcast or your radio show? Which one is it? Podcast, right?
It's a broadcast. I'm with iHeartRadio,
right.
WDRB Media, Charlotte, and it's Reject Talks. That's the name of my show.
Right.
Reject Talks. Reject was a nickname I was given as a youth, but I mean, you know, Reject Talks now. Like I was silent, you know.
Right.
I really believe that children's voices are important, you know.
Yes.
But I was silenced, and now, you know, I found myself. I found my voice. I found my purpose.
Right.
And I use my platform to give people rejects, you know, people that were counted out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We all were once, you know. So I give that platform for them to speak, you know, and share their businesses and their art, you know, their gifts to the world.
Right. I love it, bro. Let me ask you a question. Is that is this a show that is your baby, like you control everything, or is this something through like another company that like sponsors it or something like that?
I control it.
It's all you.
Control it. Yeah.
So, Ro, have you ever thought about bringing Reject Talks to Clubhouse?
I never thought about it. Wow.
Let's get it. It's not about knowledge, it's about realization. So let's bring it into focus. Okay, let's bring it into focus. So, Ro, when I watched you, you know, when I hang out with you on your lives, you know, like I was saying, you're so inspiring. You know, your drive, your motivation, you know, the way you just consistently and constantly just spitting positivity, you know, and just being real and authentic, you know, is the thing that makes you you. So, you know, when I'm looking at myself, I'm looking at how everybody else is like responding and like, oh my goodness. Yes. Like, bro, we're in the midst of that experience right now. And I've had the privilege of that every time you speak to me and we chop it up, as well as the Heart Space has had the privilege of that. Rejects on Clubhouse. And here's why. Because, bro, you on Full Throttle is like, just imagine this big light beam. It's just like you got all this power in one place, just all like this big laser. That's you in like full bloom, like who you are, especially when it comes to Reject Talks. And the thing is, yes, and this environment is and could not be more that organic, that like being able to feel like, you know, that inspiration, being able to feel up close and personal, being able to just talk, let your hair down, not be self-conscious. You know, many people that are rejects or were rejects deal very, very heavily, as you know, with self-confidence and all these other things. So what Clubhouse does is it removes so many things that allows you to, you know, that moves out of the way self-consciousness. And you can do it while moving through your life. You know, and you actually can talk directly to Ro, which is a whole different thing, Ro. It's a whole different thing. Yes, Reject Talks here on Clubhouse because it just makes sense. And then what it would do is it would pour into your show. It would pour into that version of it. And to be honest, if you're like me, especially I'm hanging out Facebook, you just go ahead and record. That'd be the show, and then you just boom, like, yeah. There's a lot for you there, bro. A lot, and I've been seeing it, and I'm like, oh, this is the perfect time to just chop it up about it.
Man, I appreciate that, Aaron, because I did not think that way.
Right. Okay. I get it. I get it. You know, which is one of the reasons why I love my mentor, Dr. Jeffrey Zeig, my psychotherapy teacher in the Milton Erickson Institute. One of the biggest things that he says that he learned was the greatest thing that his mentor could have taught him. Milton Erickson, out of all the stuff, the thousands and thousands and thousands of principles and the thousands of like just all the stuff, all the education, he told Dr. Zeig one thing. He said, if you don't remember anything else, remember three things. Number one, it's not about knowledge, it's about realization. 99% of the things that I say every day to people, they aren't things that the person doesn't know. It's not in there. It's not something that's outside of their brain. It's there. It's just not brought to that frontal cortex. It's not brought into focus, right? So it's not about knowledge. It's about realization. This is why everything works. all forms of motivation, because of the fact that they're reminders. Secondly, he said, people don't often know or recognize the power that they have, which is another reason why, again, it's good to be reminded. It's good for things to come back to the realization. It's good to get permission through somebody else who you look up to or you look at in the same camp as you, the same tribe, right? Your brother, your sister on the journey, your friend. And then he said the third thing was, let's see, it's not about knowledge, it's about realization. People don't often know the power. Oh, and that as a friend, as a confidant, as a therapist, as a counsel, as a supporter, it's always about motivation and motivating the person towards their good and towards what's that for them. So, yeah. Bro, it's so good to see you. So good to hear your voice. Even more. Yes. And so I'm now happy about that. More people will be able to hear that voice that is in the tribe that you have already been touching, and that you have the deepest passion to the bottom and to the core of your heart, to the depth of your being, your mission in life, your purpose that you have chosen, you've designed. I love you, bro.
I love you too, Aaron. I love you too. Have a great one. Great one.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. You too. And if you got to go soon, by all means, I hope that you have an amazing day on purpose.
Yes. Love you, brother.
Love you too. Family, right. Marcy, Eunice, Micah T. If there's anyone else who'd like to come up to the stage, by all means, throw up a wave. I would love to just say, hey, even if it's just to say good morning to you, by all means. Jay Dilla, the look of love. I think that's why I feel such a loving vibe today, even though that's, 24/7, 365 live, But when you got stuff like this in the background, Jay Dilla, like, come on. Jay Dilla. Micah.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Bruh, good morning to you, fam.
How are you, man?
I'm well, bro. As you can see.
It sounds like it, actually.
Right. On 100, baby. It's only 9:08, and I'm up like it's 12 noon, bro.
Yeah, I've been up for a few hours. We do the homeschool thing.
Yes, sir.
And I'm definitely out here working and trading.
Nice.
Make that little bank in the first hour.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah,
that's nice when
trading options.
I was just about to say, bro, that's nice when that just becomes like a part of a normal day, part of a balanced breakfast. Like, yeah, bro, just chilling, trade today, some good. We on the up this morning, like, I love it, bro. I'm so proud of us, like us all, for like the way that we're expanding, as far as our options, the way we're expanding our options in life, bro. And I
Absolutely.
love how,
it's important right now.
And I love how you've done that for yourself, and then, man, for your children, bro. For your children.
Yeah. Yeah. When I can get them to do it, they're not as focused on money these days. They don't have to be.
Right.
But they understand what it is. And I've been reading a really good book recently, especially to the boys,
Right.
about Babylon, The Richest Man in Babylon.
Ah.
If you've ever had the opportunity, that's a great book to read. And they just talk about the wealth of the city and how nothing compared to Babylon. And also that the richest man in Babylon just made his money work for him like little slaves, is what they say in the book. Like little slaves. It's actually kind of dope. But yeah, money management has really been my focus these days. Just trying to figure that out. Also building the brand. I don't think I told you this, Aaron. We haven't had this conversation, but
let's get it.
I would absolutely love to build out merch.
Yes.
I've been talking with a few people about Mike My Vocals brand as it relates to, the fitteds, and the tees, and the book badge, because I think that logo could really go worldwide. There's so many vocalists everywhere. Everybody likes to sing.
Yes.
And I think this would be a really good thing. Also, writing an ebook.
Yes.
My birthday's this month. So we've been on meditational vibes forever, it seems.
Right.
But that's been the healing for my life, bro, is kind of what you've done so many times during this pandemic.
Right.
You're just to offer therapy to the community.
Yes.
You've gone out and done these wonderful sessions for the world to just view. And it's been amazing. Thank you for the invitation every time. I appreciate that, man. Honestly, haven't been able to make them all because it is what it is. Life is what it is. But man, you out here hustling. Respect.
Thanks,
respect,
bro.
Man. Absolutely.
Yo,
absolutely.
The way I look at it, man, it's like I'm always, like they say, I'm so here for it. I'm so here for it. And for me, I'm always here for it, like both literally and figuratively. When I think about Clubhouse, the way that I do this daily without feeling too much like overwhelming pressure is two things. Number one, I think opportunity over obligation. That's the first thing. I repeat that to myself as a mantra. Opportunity over obligation. Opportunity over obligation. Yes. Because when you turn things into opportunity, then what happens is you lift the weight off of your shoulders, which allows you to flow with it better, which allows for that to go to the place where it needs to go so that you can be your best, shine to the world, like the whole nine. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I just look at this like, instead of looking at this like a show, even though I call it a show, like I'm literally just hanging out with my friends on a three-way call, like how I would do anyway back in the 90s, like if I had something to talk about, So, keeping it relaxed in that way while at the same time knowing the very real work that I'm doing. And here's the last thing, bro. And the other day, Clarence and I were talking about this. I was telling Clarence this about himself. Right. In fact, Clarence is on Clubhouse too. Let me see if I can ping him in here, see if he'll come through. But my point is that, bro, out of everything that I've been shedding on in life, I learned the term shedding when I got to music, and for people that don't know, that just means practicing. Out of everything that I'm shedding on in life, bro, I'm always shedding on me, like foundationally. And so what that means is always knowing, okay, this is what makes me happy. This is what I like to do. This is where I'm my best because this is where my passion is. And then aligning myself with things that fall into that category, creating things that fall into that category, mostly like understanding my like ability, my power as a creator to create, and to co-create with other people like yourself and Sherry and Kira and T and Marcy. And so that for me, bro, is like that's the flow that you've seen. But honestly, that's what made me recognize you, bro. Like, this is a brother from another mother right here. And so that's what it's been, man. That's what it's been. But we got so much stuff to talk about. Let me tell you something. Coco, what's happening, Coco?
Coco's in here.
Yes. Serendipity plus intention equals life, because I was just getting ready to say, and this is for everybody all across the world, for the quadrillions of people that are watching this right now. This Wednesday. Okay, if you don't know Micah, the reason why I'm having so much fun with my brother is because he really is my brother. We are best friends in life.
Yeah, man.
We met through music, we met through vibe, we met through like understanding each other. Like as soon as we met, it like, yo, you're my kind. Like we are definitely cut from the same cloth, kindred spirits. And so Mike and I have made so many amazing musical memories together in my group Fruition Experience, as well as with Micah's concept, the Micah Smith experience, and all kinds of things. It's been a great journey. I really, you know, I'm the youngin'. I've always been the youngest person in the crew that I've hung with. So ever since I was young, I'm the youngin'. So when I was coming up musically, there are people that I was listening to and looking up to, and now get the opportunity to actually play with and be on the same level as. And Micah is one of those people. You know,
oh, bless you.
So we've had so many opportunities together, and then this Wednesday we got yet another one. This Wednesday, everyone, we will be at Keystone Corner in Baltimore. Wednesday night, Fruition Experience and Friends featuring Micah Smith. We got some good people coming through, bro. Candace Potts is coming through. Bro, Karen Lynette is coming through. Candace Potts is coming through.
Bro,
Clarence
Malachi walks in the room and says, that guy's amazing. And then leaves.
Hey, yo, he is my best friend. All right, bro. You just lost best friend title. I apologize, bro. I just set it all up. I was like, yes, Michael Smith is my best friend in the world. And then your son just came in and did that, bro. I'm sorry, yo. You lost the title, yo. He's my new best friend. Wow.
And they'll be there on Wednesday. I told them, man. We'll probably go to the harbor afterwards or something.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. This Wednesday, everyone, Fruition Experience and Friends, myself on keys, Corey Baker on bass, Charles Wilson on drums, Micah Smith on vocals. We got good friends coming through. Also, that's going to be jumping in with us, Karen Lynette, Candace Potts, Clarence Ward III. Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
It's the Taurus Cancer connection.
I'm telling you, bro. Like,
you didn't tell me that the sisters were coming through. Those my homies right there, bro.
Exactly. I need
to call Candace when I get off this phone.
Yes.
When I get off this call. This is amazing, man. That's great. I'm looking forward to Wednesday.
Yes.
That's going to be great.
Me too. So for everyone, 7:30 p.m. and 9 p.m. set, Fruition Experience and Friends featuring Micah Smith. The ticket link will be up today. I'm putting up the information today. They're sending it over to me. As far as live stream, if you're not in the area, you can live stream through the link that I put up. That's going to be the professional live stream, and it's going to be amazing. So yeah, bro. And your son just made my day, bro. Please tell him I said that he is even more amazing, and we will debate about that when I see him.
That's gonna be great. Hey man, he's a master trader, if you ask me. Like my little 9-year-old, that's actually like he does, but he's I scalp.
Yeah.
If you know anything about trading, it's like when you just gotta watch it and you just you gotta be there. You gotta figure out what's going on, what's happening at every moment.
Right.
This guy likes to swing trade. He's like, all right, Dad, it's gonna move this way in the morning, and then he comes back in the evening, and it's like, see.
Wow.
Yeah, I just gotta get him to set his stop losses much better. He's just gotta figure that out. But yeah, if anybody like really wants to get into that industry, I'm definitely connected there, man. And it's really money in minutes. You know, it's been great.
Yes,
and I would love to connect people. So if you know anybody who's interested in that journey too, I'm always doing that.
100%. Well, you just put out the word right here, and we're going to keep it going in that way. In the same way that I told bro, all of us have a voice here. I love when people's voice come through here because this has been such an incubator space, created so many connections. So yeah, keep talking about it in this way. And the last thing, bro, is please tell everybody, bro, how old is your son Malachi, bro? Because you just talked about him like he was this 35-year-old dude. Like, yeah, man, I just got get this dude up to speed. I mean, he's been on course for a while. How old is this little man, bro? Oh, he popped out the room. So I think Malachi is 10. Micah's son is amazing, and I think he's like 10. Let me ping Micah back in. I think he might have lost connection. OMG. Coco.
Yes.
Hey. How are
you? Good. How are you?
Doing well. I'm trying to ping Micah back in here. I think he might have lost connection. But I am doing well.
Are you on the road? Are you on the road or something? I'm hearing so much background noise.
No, I'm not on the road. Let's see. Let me see. What might you be hearing? Now,
yeah. It's like wind or something.
It's like wind? You know what? You might be hearing this track. All right, tell me if you hear it now.
Oh, no. Well, wait. Oh, it's the track. Okay.
Yeah, it's the track.
Nice.
But, yeah, good morning. Hello to Tanisha as well. Hey, Tanisha.
I know everybody's up in here. T, Jerry, Tanisha.
Great. You know what? Let me change my audio quality up. Let me go up to high. All right, let's see. Got even better quality now. Yes. So I'm excited about Wednesday, everyone. Super excited. I just want to remind you all of that. And if Micah jumps back in, we'll talk about it a bit more. But yeah. So Coco, what's happening?
Well, I am here working away, and so I have to come in. I've missed being on the show.
Yeah.
I'm working on some things, as you know, myself.
Yeah.
And technical difficulties trying to sing online. So I had this event for me. It's an annual meeting, and they wanted me to perform, and I'm reading all this stuff. And
Coco, let me ask you a question. Sorry to cut you off. Your phone sounds like a little muffled. It sounds like you're a little far away.
Yeah, can you hear me better now?
It sounds about the same, but I can still hear you. It just sounds a little.
Okay, well, I don't know. My phone is just.
It's all good.
It's nothing I can do to fix the quality at this point.
It's all good. I can hear you though. Keep going.
Yeah, so I'm just having technical difficulties. That's all. We're trying to figure out how to play the music and be in the microphone with the right, the view. So I bought a new camera, one of those things that goes on top of your, and I'm so not technically inclined. So
there's Micah. I'm sorry, I realized Micah phone dropped out. Did you want to say hey to Micah, Coco?
Hey, Micah.
Hey dear, my phone died.
I just thought I was like that sounds like a dropped call or a dropped battery, dropped everything. Right. Yeah, but I knew Coco wanted to say what's up too. I wanted to give y'all a chance to say hello.
Yeah, good to see you, Micah. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to watch y'all online.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good.
Yes. It's going to be amazing. But Coco, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, nothing really. Just, technical stuff. I can't stay in the room long. I just popped in to say hi because I got to get back to trying to figure this stuff out. So It's good to see all y'all.
So let me ask you a question. So you're talking about getting together the equipment in order to perform on Clubhouse?
No, I'm actually performing. Well, it's not going to be on Zoom, but it's another platform. And so I'm singing, and I have this headset, and I have my speakers hooked up, and I'm trying to play the music and sing. And when I, when I play it on my laptop, the mic keeps coming in and out, and I'm like, how do you perform music on Zoom?
Right. With
backing track and the levels and all, anyway, so
I get it.
It's not easy.
Right.
And you look at how do I look and look at the background, and I'm sitting, do I stand, where do I put my laptop? Just it's this virtual world that as a performer, it's not easy.
What time do you have to do this?
Well, I have a rehearsal today at 1, and then it's later on during the week.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll try to help you piece it together and figure it out. But yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. And honestly, that sounds complicated. And I'm an audio engineer, so there. So cool. Well,
Mike, I have a question for Micah. Do you ever have to perform on Zoom as a singer or on online meetings and things like that?
Yes, I have. I did last year in October. I won't forget it. It was actually really great. I got to stage it the way I wanted to, which really means, you can make a background if you want, that kind of thing, just background filters. And Zoom is cool because you can mute your mic and your screen and listen, and then, they call you up. And it was great. I did a conference. So I had like a few songs to sing, which I got to just track out on my own, much like Aaron. We collab that way too. So I get to do that kind of stuff, and it's been fun. BGVs, everything's in the track, and you set your level. We did a sound check before the engagement started, so we arrived early, and it was cool. I loved it, and I think we might end up doing it again. I don't know. Maybe the pandemic is lifting now, so we might not have as many opportunities to do such things. But yeah, it was great for me.
Awesome. Thanks. All right, I'm going to run out of the room, everybody. So nice to see y'all.
All right, Coco.
Really good to hear you, Micah, and Aaron. I'm sure we'll catch up.
No doubt. All right, Coco.
Yeah, have a good one.
Have a wonderful. Bye. Have a wonderful family. Oh, this right here. Oh, I just cut off my jam. I was getting ready to go in. J Dilla Nog Champa. This is one of my favorite instrumentals. Thinking back to, you remember this joint, Micah? Back, Like Water for Chocolate, Common. You're going to recognize this as soon as you hear that.
It's a great album.
Right. Sheesh. So right now, while we're listening to this intro, I'm getting ready to put a picture on my Instagram timeline. In fact, I think I might have already put it there. Let me see. Let me check in. Show y'all one of my biggest influences. One of my biggest influences in music right now. We be that. Aphrodisiac. We be that. Aphrodisiac. We be that. Aphrodisiac. Common. Oh man, Like Water for Chocolate. Such a good thing. I want to say thanks to everybody that came through today so far. Say hello. Thanks. Sending a message right now to one of the people that came through that's not here anymore. Thanks so much for stopping by. I want to show you all one of my biggest influences that I got a chance to meet the other day, by the name of Taylor Ikestee. All right, so if you head on over to my Instagram, and I'm going to invite those to the stage in a few minutes who would like to come to the stage, by all means. As we stand in accountability, one of the reasons why I started this space was to be able to check in to see where could I stand in accountability with other people. And so I do that every day. Look forward to doing that in the most unique way with each individual person. Because we all need something different. We are striving for something uniquely different, even though in many ways it's the same. Eunice Double Dip Crew over on Facebook says, "Good day, sir." Hey, Eunice, how are you? Again, if you'd like to join me on Facebook, just find me at Aaron Hill TV. You can just search at the top of Facebook, look for the red and black profile picture to match my scarf that I have on right now. And my yin and yang sign. What y'all know about that? What you know about that yang? What you know about that yang? I tell you one thing you might not know, or if you do know, I'll bring it back to your realization. Everybody want those ebbs. Everybody want that flow life, but nobody want them ebbs though. I'm just saying. It's the yin and the yang. When I say serendipity plus intention equals life, I don't mean one thing. I don't mean just the things that we look at and we experience as quote unquote good things. I mean all the things. That's why I say my religion is acceptance over expectation, because expectation is something that's really, really good, except for when you have no reason to expect. And it's more important for you to accept, because there are inevitables of life that happen every day. It's the way of holding them all together. We learned it in another form, in a word called equanimity, balance. Speaking of balance, okay, here's one of the people that has given me balance musically. They've inspired my journey. If you head on over to my Instagram, you'll see the very first post. I'm standing there with the good brother Taylor Ikesty. In fact, if you're on Facebook, I'm actually going to show you on my Facebook page. Let's see. Let me navigate to it. We be that. Aphrodisiac. We be that. Aphrodisiac. That's what we are every day as we do what we do. All right, so here's Taylor Ikesty. Good morning, Priscilla. Good morning, David T. Double Dip Crew. All right, let's see. Let me see if I can make this large. Let me share my screen. All right, here you go. So, show you a couple things. First, starting off with Taylor Ikesty. So, Taylor's a piano player. Met him down at Keystone Corner. You all will see me. Those that are in Baltimore, you'll see me at Keystone Corner a lot. Not only performing there, like this Wednesday with Micah, but then also just there regularly seeing some of my greatest icons. I'll be there Sunday to see Kenny Barron. I'll be there soon to see Christian McBride and Buster Williams and the Headhunters and Kenny Garrett. Yeah, so got a chance to meet Taylor the other day, Taylor Ikesty. He's worked with Gretchen Parlato and a lot of other people. List is too long to name, but he's definitely someone who impacted my style. So shout out to Taylor. All right, now I want to also show you all some things that my mom has done. I'm trying to get my mom in this experience. So before that happens, I'm going to refresh the stage. If you'd like to come to the stage, all you got to do is throw up a wave. Let's hang out. Would love to say hi. Love to check in. And then I'm also going to share with you some of my ponderings. And if you like to just keep hanging out, enjoying it in the background, you could do that too. All right, check this out. These are a few ponderings for you. This is from my catalog. It's up to you to be deeply aware of and take care of your own needs, especially when it comes to your own mental health, sanity, and well-being. And you have to understand that sometimes people won't be able to get past their own emotions or needs to care about yours. It's normal. It's what emotions do to us sometimes. But I want to bring to your realization, I want you to remember that the only thing people will be able to do is to cry for you and mourn for you. If your anxiety, depression, or unhappiness takes you out of here, it's up to you to save your own life. So be considerate of other people's feelings, but not at the expense of yours. Another way I like to say it is, hear other opinions, but follow your heart. Here's another one I wrote on January 6, 2020. I'm starting a cult. around mindfulness and emotional intelligence unapologetically. You are responsible for what you're responsible for and not for what you're not. Understand the difference between your part in an equation versus the extra weight or baggage that you've decided to add to your load as well. In your deep, sincere desire to care and help a situation, you may be taking on more than you need to. As I heard somebody say, if you can't say amen, say ouch. Again, you're not responsible for what you're not responsible for. Just be open, seeking, listening, and honest with yourself in order to clearly recognize the difference between what you should own and what you should not. Because finding that balance leads to a clarity that will really help to fix or to mend a situation. And at the very least, or most, it'll greatly assist you in making peace with the situation. Yes. So as I'm reading these ponderings, if there's anything that jumps out to you, that resonates to you, by all means, you can throw up your hand. Come on to the stage. I would love to hear your 2 cents. I would love to hear how it resonates. I no longer feel. I wrote this out. Hello, Sherry. Thank you for hanging out. I no longer feel that it's okay to call someone else out on their BS unless you can honestly say that you're acknowledging and working on your own. Period. And acting like you don't have any is even more unacceptable. I'm going to bring something else to your realization. We don't accept dishonest liars. We don't accept dishonest liars. That's a double negative. We only accept honest ones who don't give a fuck that you know without the shadow of a doubt that they are liars. Take a minute to let that sink in. I did a podcast about that. Speaking of which, if you want to find it, just look up the Aaron Hill Podcast. I'm going to tell you something I learned about being a father and working with my kids. If you are real as fuck with your kids and don't make anything taboo, they will excitedly and willingly share everything with you, which is the way any parent would want it. It's that safe space, that trust. This inevitably leads to deep, trusting relationships and the healthiest and maturest of conversations without any fear of judgment. This is different than past generations where most things were hush, hush, and off limits conversationally. I remember that. Like it was yesterday, because it wasn't that long ago. That was never a successful method for raising or teaching children. Now, what I will say that it was a successful method for surviving in unfit and not so ideal circumstances. But the thing is, there are many things that we do to survive in unfit circumstances that's not actually healthy. It's just something that allows us to survive. But if you put us in a different environment, that same thing can be counterproductive. So many things that we've dealt with, there were never successful methods, but they were in getting us to this point. You just got to remember that. I tell you, I always say, one of my only issue with when it comes to religious systems, different spiritual systems, is one thing. We literally think that that's the end all be all as far as the answers that we have, which makes us stop asking the questions, which means we don't think that any of the principles need to be reviewed. We don't think that the pros can also have cons. We don't think that anything can possibly be obsolete at this point, or the best that we knew at that time, or the best effort that we put in. And so what it does is it cuts off the path to further knowledge. When you think you already have all the answers, then that means when you're wrong, whether it's something small like, you just I don't know, you just misjudge something and you can easily correct it, or whether you think that hurting or separating from other people is the answer and you don't know that that's just the best we thought about at that time. We could be just too stuck in our ways to look at the obvious other side of the coin. So, be real. And like Erykah Badu said, always remember that the man that knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. It's the greatest awareness that you can have is the fact that you're not aware of everything. Stay open. Yes, one more. Then I'm going to refresh the room, see if you have any thoughts. We know this, but it's not about knowledge. It's about realization, bringing it back into focus. It's not what you have, it's how you use it. To a good degree, many of us are working with the same tools and resources. Some of us are just not being more intentional and as productive as we could, like others. My goal is to help everyone to reach the highest level of productivity and intentionality as possible, to mold and shape our lives into monumental historic legacies. You know you can always holler at me. That's my deal. My motto for life. This is a beautiful moment of intention and serendipity. The motto of my life comes from one of the mottos. Y'all know I say a lot of things. One of my favorite comes from Mahalia Jackson. Alice, your mom reminded me so much of Mahalia Jackson. And so this line, if I can help somebody, then my living isn't in vain. And I always add on to that and say, since I already know that my living isn't in vain, because you define your purpose, it isn't predetermined, contrary to popular belief, then I'll just spend my time helping as many people as I can with as much as I can for as long as I can. Because that's just how I see it. That's what it means to be a humanist at the core. So I want to do a quick refresh. If there's anything that I said that has resonated with you that you like to share, by all means, come onto the stage. Or if you're already on the stage, by all means, the floor is yours. Yes. And so, all right, now, when my mom comes in here, I need y'all to help me with something. Y'all might not do this because y'all might be like, I'm not messing with your mother like that. So my mother was on here the other day, and when she got on here the first time, we were talking, and then someone was like, you're not following your mother? Like, oh my gosh, like how ridiculous is that? You know, they were just joking around with me. And so I laughed about it. And my mother was like, yeah, how could you not be following me? And yet my mother's not following me.
Go figure out here. That's hilarious, bro.
So I'm going to mess with her when she comes in. Because I told her that I was going to holler at her to come through, hang out with us, and tell us about this beauty. Matter of fact, I'm going to show y'all. And then when she comes in, we can continue to talk about it. If you go over to my Facebook page right now, what you will be looking at is a magazine that says Woman, What Up, Baltimore. And this is by Christina Flowers. Those that are hanging out with me, I'm sharing my screen now. Again, I'm at Aaron Hill TV on Facebook, red and black profile picture. So my mother put these up yesterday. My mother was featured in this magazine, Woman, What Up, Baltimore. And here's my beautiful mom. Let's see if I can make this even larger. Cheryl Lawson, Butterfly of the Month. This is my mother's words. She said, I'm a mother, grandmother, and a retired elementary school teacher. I taught for 36 years in the Baltimore school system. In 2020, we were all in the pandemic, shut down, and one day, I was in Ollie's, and I said to God, I need a project since we are going to be confined in our homes. I was in the book section of the store, and I spotted the adult coloring books and started there. Then the Black Lives Matter movement started. I began to create on canvas my own posters around Black Lives Matter. Then my drawings started centering around encouragement during these dark times. Now I have a potpourri of topics and drawings to encourage people. I've been enjoying utilizing my artistic ability. In the beginning, I was reluctant about doing pop-ups around the city at the parks. And she cut the page off a little bit, but it says, I took that faith leap and God has anointed my work. People have supported me financially and verbally. Most importantly, the children have been impressed as well. They even started a conversation about my artwork and have encouraged their parents to purchase a piece for them. I'm just so excited to have brought joy to so many people during these times. And then here's a picture of some of my mother's artwork on the reverse page. Her Juneteenth 1865 poster, a couple with women with beautiful hats. She did one of DMX. That's amazing here. So yes, my mom is she's a bag of laughs. She's a bag of joy. She's just an incredible person. And there's so much that I owe to her for my path and how I have unfolded. So grateful. All right, quick reset. One more again. Last call. I'm going to invite, if there's anyone who'd like to come to the stage. I see Alice is coming up to hang out. By all means, would love to. You can come on through. Hey, Alice. Hey,
Aaron, I was just on your page looking for what you was reading about your dear mother.
Okay.
Your bestie, and I didn't see it. So,
you looking for it on my Facebook page?
I was on your Facebook page and I saw something like that what you was reading.
Okay. So if you go, if you go to, if you're looking for the article I was reading, then I was reading the picture. So if you go to my Facebook page, either one, Aaron Hill TV, the red and black profile, or the black and white, and then when you scroll down, you'll see a couple pictures of the magazine. And when you click on that, you'll be able to zoom in. I was reading it off of the picture, so it's not in a caption. It's like real close on the picture. And if you're looking for me on Facebook in general, live, then when you search at the top, Aaron Hill TV, look for the red and black profile picture, because the black and white is my profile, my personal, and I'm broadcasting from my public figure page. Yes.
Okay, I got the red and black Aaron Hill TV. So what did it think about your mom?
Just scroll down and you'll see the pictures of the magazine. You just scroll down. It's like maybe 5 or 6 posts in.
Okay.
Yep. Or you can go to my mother's page. You can type in Cheryl Lawson.
Cheryl Lawson. Okay. Hey guys, I'm so excited I was speaking in this room. Okay, I just saw it. My bad.
No doubt. Love it. Thanks, Alice.
Okay.
Yes. So one of the things we also do in this experience that, and actually we had one other feature that was supposed to be here, but I think something came up. Our BPS Spotlight today, Lindell, Hunter, and we're going to definitely have the BPS Spotlight tomorrow. 9 a.m. is the BPS Spotlight. It's where I hang out with someone who we chop it up with about their business, product, or their service. And so you will see that. And Lindell might even still come through. He might just be running late. So also, starting out this experience has always been about accountability for me. So what I like to do is I like to open up the floor and check in. If there's anyone that has any personal goal for your day, for your week, for your life in general, that you would like to share so that I can stand in accountability with you on it, as well as your accountability family here, by all means. And I'm getting ready to start chowing down on this oatmeal here. I got some nice hearty oatmeal in front of me. Pecans, walnuts, raisins, steel cut. I forgot my sesame seeds. Oh my gosh. Y'all made me forget it. Yes, but by all means, you can come on through if you have anything that you would like us to all stand in accountability together with you on. Yes. All right, so one other thing that I wanted to do is, hello, Sing. Thanks for hanging out. Good day to you. All right, so I think I want to actually play some piano. I want to play some piano. Get a little flow going. And so tonight, if you are in the DMV area, one of the other things that happens every Monday night, you can catch me at the session. Clarence Ward III hosts the session down at Terra Cafe. Terra Cafe. Good day, Hannah. Thanks for hanging out. Terra Cafe is on the corner of 25th and St. Paul. Jam session from 7:30 to 10:30 every Monday night is free, and it is some of the cream of the crop musically. You definitely want to come through there. Great food, great drinks in the Jerk Garden, Terra Cafe. Got my piano on. All right, we're going to have some fun. I want to do a quick refresh of the room. Say hello to Hannah, Sing, Eunice, Sherry, T, Alice. Yes. All right, let's see. Jay Dilla, Colors of You, one of my favorite tracks. All right, so I'm gonna give you a little taste of maybe a feel that you might experience tonight if you come to the session. Let's play some jazz. Again, if you want to watch me live, even in playing and performing this, by all means, come on over to Facebook at Aaron Hill TV. So that was a little improv on Herbie Hancock, Butterfly, one of my favorite tunes to play. In fact, you will more than likely hear that this Wednesday. Micah Smith is one of the tunes that we do pretty regularly in this flow and in this setup. So this Wednesday, Fruition Experience, you're probably going to hear that tune. And again, if you're on Facebook, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m., you can also look for the information on my timeline. Yes. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you would like to come to the stage, by all means, you can throw up a wave. And I'd love to hang out. We're going to hang out for a few more here. Get going on our day. I see Alice is coming up. Yes, Alice.
I just wanted to say how I enjoy that piece that you just did. That's all I want to say.
Thank you.
It was
Alice.
very refreshing, and you played it with meaning and depth. That's all I wanted to say. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alice.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes. And so I want to also say, if there's anyone else who would like to share a thought around accountability, by all means, if there is something that resonates for you that you like to share. And let's see, who else we got here? We got the family. Thanks so much, David T. As always, Double Dip Crew. David says that was so dope, man. Thank you so much, fam. Yes. All right, so I'm going to read a couple more of my ponderings, and then I'm going to say a few final words. I don't think my mom is coming through today. She might actually have something else happening. And so I'm going to read a few more things, and then if you have any thoughts, by all means. I like this one because I always like to stand on different sides. You know, I'm a professional empath at this point. It's the reason why I'm in school for psychotherapy. It is to become a professional empath. And I'm already an empath by nature due to my very loving mom even. So, just icing on the cake. This is something I wrote before. I never thought about before, but I'm starting to feel that saying, quote unquote, having the balls to do something is an interestingly unintentional downplay to female strength and genitalia. Or intentional. If not, please explain to me how not. My gift has always been that I'm naturally a safe space for the vulnerable. We used to live in a world where, to some degree, the only way you prospered was to hoard information, not share your knowledge or valuable info, or share your quote-unquote success secrets. I'm glad we no longer live in that world, because now it matches my freely giving personality. And then here's something I mentioned yesterday. These are all ponderings. In fact, this is like a part of a book. I have a ponderings book that I started writing on medium.com. And soon you'll be able to see these all in my own personal app. But for right now, they're hosted on Medium. You can find them at Aaron Hill TV on Medium. I mentioned this yesterday. Out of respect for my homosexual and other sexually oriented fellow human beings, I'd rather be referred to as heterosexual as opposed to quote unquote straight. I feel the term implies that other orientations are crooked or somehow less than, and I completely disagree with that. We use words in particular ways. Words don't have definitions. Words are just sounds. They're just utterances. They're just vibrations. Words have usages. And so because they have usages, we use them to define certain things. So that's why I say that. Because the term straight automatically denotes, because of the way we use straight to mean certain things, it denotes that other orientations are somehow crooked or not right. Here's another one for you. Remember this: projecting your perspective onto others. Then being upset or disappointed that they don't hold the same views you hold is unfair and ridiculous. Your thoughts are in your own head, and nobody else knows how those thoughts are playing out there but you. Furthermore, nobody else is responsible for them but you. So stop holding others accountable for them. Here's another one for you. Here's another thought. Meyer, what's up, homie? Good morning to you, fam. Here's another thought for you. Wrote this on August 1st, no, actually, I wrote this before that. Indoctrination makes us see narcissism clearly, but defend it as love. Indoctrination makes us see narcissism and defend it as love. 8120. Be unapologetic about who you are, unless you're an asshole. Then you need to apologize and change immediately. Also, remember this. Conversely, healed people heal people. Which is why I stand here every day for my own healing and for those of others. And here's one more for you, and then I'm gonna reset the room. Love to know if any of these thoughts sparked thoughts for you. This is from my A Quote a Day series, when it's time for change. If you continue to do what you always did, then of course you'll get what you always got. When it's time for a change, you've got to realize that a dead horse has 1,000% consistency at getting a rider nowhere. So go ahead and take the first step toward change. What do you have to lose? Because this first step, it may just be the first forward motion that you've had in a very long time. Your feet will thank you later for moving when you did. And in that same vein, if you continue to try to help those that are not trying to help themselves, then you, my friend, are the horse that's not drinking the water. That's the waters of acceptance. And so on that tip, I want to open up the floor. If there's anyone where any of these thoughts has sparked any thoughts for you, come through. Would love to hear them. And even if you just want to say, hey, you want to just say good morning, check in, maybe even stand in accountability or voice a word of accountability, something we can stand in accountability with you on, then by all means, come through. You can throw up a wave and come to the stage. And if not, if you're hanging out, making this your background morning experience as you work or take over the world, you could do that too. You could do that too. Most of all, thanks for coming through. Yes. See the homie Meyer is coming through. Meyer, what's happening, broski?
What up, Aaron? How you doing?
What's up,
How's your
bro?
morning?
So far, so good, bro. So far, so good.
Man, I'm so happy to tap in with you.
Yes,
I've finally figured out a schedule that allows me to get back to this morning show in a major way that I was a part of before.
Yeah.
And I'm excited and multitasking because that's what I do best and worst.
Right. Same here, right? Same here. I can identify. Yo, I love it, bro. I love it. You know, organizing things so that you can give yourself the flow that you need, bro.
Yes.
Love
absolutely.
it. I love it, man. I love it. Always a pleasure to see you, man. Always a pleasure to hear your voice. Anything else?
Likewise.
Yeah, man. Anything else going on in the world of anything else coming? Anything? What else has come into clarity for Meyer, like over this recent past? Because I know it's something, bro. We're thinkers, so I know it's always something.
Oh man, there's like you and I could like chop it up for a solid 72 hours, some shit. But
right,
I'll hit you with this. When you were talking about healing people, I had a conversation, I think it was last week, just with like the group therapy peeps about like, artists that you feel conflicted listening to because you like the art but you don't like the person kind of deal.
Let's talk about it. I love it.
Right. And so already off the top, we could think of a number of people, you know, who've done some shit where it's just like, why?
Right.
But I had this idea of like, well, why don't they just take the proceeds from that record and then redistribute it, you know, to the victims kind of deal, and that way it saves the art,
right,
and it holds the person accountable. But then I also went on to say something about like, you know, hurt people, heal people,
right,
and all those people are definitely like hurt people that try to heal themselves with like music, and the fame kind of allowed them to hurt more people because they never got like that proper healing, which is just like taking the time to like open up the wound and assess how bad it is, and maybe get some therapy and shit, and smoke a lot of weed.
Right.
Chill out. So I was just sort of mapping that out, and then I think the room got a little silent. People were like, man, why is this dude trying to sympathize with all these monsters? And I was like, no, I'm just trying to explain that like hurt people.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you something, bro. That was deep what you just said there, because the deal is this. I always fall on that side of trying to find that place of sympathizing and empathizing with people, because it's just like what you just said. I can't help but look at all of us in the same boat. You know, the people that have done things to other people, chances are they got dealt some really messed up cards, and chances are they were treated in a particular way. So really the problem started before their iteration of it towards another, and nothing is in a vacuum. Nothing happens in a vacuum. You know, so you just start realizing everything has cause and effect, and you can't help but to look at the person and say, like, this person who victimized was probably a victim too. And all of us are victims of just life, and coming through this particular incarnation, coming through this way where you don't know what cards are going to be dealt. Like, you don't know.
Yep.
You know, and you don't have control over what cards are dealt.
Zero control. And I don't know why everyone assumes that people have some sort of control over these cards.
Right. You know, so I can't help. I'm like you. And honestly, I think that's a real good thing to like bring through, is like when you look, the reason why you sympathizing, because you know what it feels like. You know, like the more in touch you are with that, especially if you have situations in your life that relate to that, like the more you naturally sympathize or empathize. You just can't lie to yourself. You can't ostracize, or you can't like not see another when you understand what it's like, at least to some degree, right? So,
yeah, and it comes with like so much introspection. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. That's perfect.
But yeah, man, it's just like taking the time and the hours to just look into yourself and be like, did I wrong anybody today? Yeah. What kind of human was I today?
Right. I always say that the number one thing that honestly I believe solves so many of our issues with each other is empathy. It is actually what you did. It is naturally what I do when I look out and I just see us as human beings dealing all with the same human condition. The feelings of loneliness, the feelings of frustration, defeat at times, victory at times, the good times, the not so good times, you know, that's just life. And I really feel that almost every problem we have with each other as far as humanity is just a lack of empathy. I really believe that's the case. There's just so many things that you would do differently if you had empathy. Now, what determines whether you have empathy is not a light switch. It's not like you can just flip empathy on and off. Nah, you either can relate or you can't. And relating has to do with experiencing. So if you haven't experienced something, you can't relate to it. Therefore, you have no frame of reference in your mind for it to even be a choice. And so that's why I have so much empathy for us, and why I think that the answer to all things in life is what we're doing here right now. It's to continue to hear each other's stories. It's continue to share each other's opinions, to agree and to disagree amicably when we can. It's to stay open. It's just so many things. But having the conversation means that even if you haven't experienced something, you can at least hear it playing out and see it in others. Eventually, because of the 6 degrees of separation, it's going to be somebody that's close enough home to you as far as your heart, where it initiates that spark, like where you can't help but say, you know what, I'm marginalized against all homosexual people, but like my mentor happened to be gay, and I owe so much of my life to him, or that was my uncle, you know, or that, like, it's just that point of relation. So that's why I believe this kind of exchange is so important, bro. And I want to say to you, thank you for having sympathy and empathy in that situation, because that's what those people need. If they're going to be understood, if they can be helped, they need empathetic individuals to not see them for the circumstances that they've been through that then just carry through to them. They need people like you and I, Meyer.
I love that. Yeah, it's really just a question of being curious, right?
Yeah.
It's like I see so many things just being like a ripple effect. You know, like nothing happens in a vacuum, like you said. Everyone's actions affect everybody.
Right.
And empathy is kind of like that training that you got to keep up. It's like a muscle where you got to like realize that, you know, your actions and statements have consequences and shit, and like you got to be aware. You know, like self-awareness is like something that has to be practiced. It's not just like gifted. Same with empathy. So I think it's just something that is like, you know, requires maintenance, at least on my end. I don't know, like everyone's different, but I have to like
look, let me tell you, bro, we might be different in some degree, but the one place where we're not different is us all practicing these things every freaking day. Like the question is just really what you're bringing to realization. It's just whether that's actually what you're intentionally doing or not. But all of us have to do it because that's what this life is. That's why I don't believe in perfection. It's progress and process. Progress in the process. Progression. Evolution. That's as good as it freaking gets. And when you realize that, then you're like, yeah, that's as good as it gets. Yay. Like, let's do it. Let's keep evolving.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Hannah. Good morning.
I just wanted to add to that as well, is that I believe empathy also comes from a place within. It's not just a matter of experience. I'm somebody who sometimes first off, I'm very empathetic, but there are some things that it's difficult for me to find empathy on because of how I would handle the situation and my standards for myself. So unless I give myself grace with everything and am empathetic with my own self, I'm going to always find these one things that I become very judgmental with other people about. So that's something that I'm really trying to work on and realize that it all, as cliche as it is, it always starts with you first and then everyone else.
Let me tell you, I love that. First of all, Hannah, it's a pleasure to meet you. This is our first time meeting?
Yes.
Nice to meet you. Nice to hear your voice. I just, ever since 2011, my New Year's resolution was to take something that I was already doing, seeing people, meeting people, and take it to the next level as far as appreciation. So I'm always just happy to meet a new, beautiful person. Hi, Hannah. And I absolutely love what you said. You know, here's an interesting thing about it. You mentioned something in what you were saying, and I can't remember it verbatim, but I'll give you back at least a gist of what you're saying. You got to one point where you were like, it's hard for me to be empathetic sometimes because, and then you turned it around and you spoke about yourself. The beautiful part is, and then you wrapped it, you really pulled it together in the equation before you finished up. The beautiful part is having empathy doesn't just mean looking out for another, right? And sometimes you're actually looking out for someone else by looking out for yourself. In fact, all the time you are, like, except for, you know, if you're coming from some kind of negative self, you know, it's subjective. But the point is, when you're coming from a positive place, this is actually the story of my life. It's literally that I've started with myself and then from there moved outwardly. Because if I can have self-compassion, if I can have self-love, if I can have empathy toward myself, then it allows me to be able to demonstrate to another. The thing I've learned in addition to that, though, is that, and I'm learning this through psychology, psychotherapy, attachment theory, is that it does start with you, but at the same time, I think about myself, I've always been an empath, and I'm curious to know more of your story, because usually as I'm listening to a person, I could find those places where I'm like, oh, boom, there was where that empathy was initiated right there, even when we didn't realize it. It was just a healthy attachment, a healthy caretaker, or a healthy relationship of any sort, platonic, intimate, that sparked that and started giving us that empathy. If you haven't experienced empathy, or if it haven't been demonstrated to you, or you don't grow up in an empathetic environment, then psychology shows like you don't have access to it, actually. Unless it's something that's demonstrated, or unless it's something that's in you because of the fact you had some kind of connection. I think about my mother. My mother's dad in my life. For a buddy of mine, it was nobody else but his like high school music teacher. But it was just the situation. For somebody else, it was their first lover, who after coming up in a narcissistic home was the first love they ever felt. It was unconditional, it was healthy, and it helped them to develop empathy and that kind of thing. So I definitely believe it starts with us from a practicing standpoint. But when we get here, because of attachment theory, it's like you either had a secure connection, or you had one that was dismissive, avoidant, anxious, preoccupied, and then from there it starts to develop like your capacity, where you are with it on the level of being able to be empathetic to others. And one of the hardest things about being empathetic to others is when you've been in a situation, either you grew up this way or you've been in relationship, mostly in life, relationships of all sorts, where your needs were dismissed. In order for you to survive, you had to learn how to not depend on that. And so therefore it's hard for you to have empathy. I've worked with people that's like this, where I'm like, whoa, I get this, because I have exactly the opposite experience. Anywho, Hannah, are there any other thoughts that come to your mind? Meyer, by all means. And then anybody else who is hanging out in the audience, if anything comes to mind for you, this has brought anything to your prefrontal cortex, then by all means, I'd love for you to share.
Nothing to add. You said a lot of truths, and you just have me thinking now.
I love it. Hannah, one of the other things, I'm actually going to share this. I'm going to pull this up on Facebook, some things that I wrote about this concept of empathy. And while I'm pulling this up, I want to tell you a bit more about myself. My mom, if she gets the opportunity to come through, my mom is the one that through education and exposure really birthed empathy in me. I've always been patient. I've always had this particular kind of equanimity and balance to me. And for me, it was just always like, what else is there? Like, this is what it is. But that was just because that was my experience. It was natural to me. It was natural to who I was. When I think back, though, I'm like, oh, I really see what birthed that. I have very little traumatic experiences in my life. My cries, I used to call this the baby cry syndrome, and it was way before I even learned about attachment theory. My cries were answered in a particular way. Your cries from the very beginning are either nurtured and nourished, or neglected, maybe even abused or held against you. And immediately you start forming what you look for in relationship to another human being of all sort, platonic, a stranger you meet, talk to for an hour, or somebody who you spend a lifetime with. You look for certain things. You handle your emotions a certain way, and you have certain expectations, at least out of relationships. You either can expect, and that's what you expect. You can, or somewhere in between, So it really opens me up in that way. My English teacher in 10th grade, now I call his English class the empathy room, because what he did was, Mr. Ring, what he would do is he would be open to not only just being our teacher and us having to turn in work and that kind of thing, but he always checked in with us. He always talked to us about just our well-being and who we are and that kind of thing. And it really birthed a lot. There at 15, what I'm doing right now, music in the background, chopping it up, talking about positive things, encouraging people, consoling them. He gave me the opportunity to do that in class at 15 after my work was done. And so his class was this place where we learned a lot about self-expression. We learned about empathy, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, even though he wasn't calling it that. But now that I know what I know, it was all that. So I'm going to share a few things about empathy that I've written. Feeling seen, heard, and understood goes a long way toward healing. It might not reverse what happened, but not feeling alone greatly eases the pain. Thank you. Your repetition, this is, I'm gonna jump into a few different angles, and you're gonna just kind of hear either empathy there or hear something that's empathetic to us. Here's a friendly reminder. Your reputation is all that you have, and it's the most important aspect of how you're seen by others. Make sure that integrity, professionalism, kindness, and empathy are at the top of your list, and the rest will speak for itself. Even when people try to misrepresent or misinterpret your actions, your truth will shine brightly through all of that. Go forth and shine and create a reputation that keeps you in high regard. Keep driving forward and ignore the life trolls. Have empathy for them, because a person must be in a very sad place to have the precious time to devote to bringing others down.
That one right there, really. I even have to say that to myself sometimes.
Speak on it.
Yeah, there's times when like just on social media, if it's somebody that I know and I scroll and there's a little spew of hate, and then I'm like, ew, like wait, let's sit on that for a while. Why are you feeling that? And let's correct that, because that's not who we are trying to be. But it's natural, we're humans, and these thoughts do come into our mind. So I don't think we should ignore them. But I definitely think we should sit with them for a second and work through it.
Yes, because ignoring them would be being in denial of who we are, which doesn't help us to get very far at all. We know that by the things that we're now pulling back from under the covers of being taboo and further, And so you could not be more correct. Self-awareness, the top of the number one tenet of emotional intelligence, first one you come to, self-awareness. I remember when I learned when I was young that the smartest or most intelligent, especially when we talk about emotional intelligence, the most intelligent person in the world is not the person that knows everything. It's the person that knows how to step back and find the answers to everything or observe everything. Like they say, knowing is half the battle. And I even want to take it farther than that, because I think knowing is more than half the battle. When you know better, you do better. And if you don't do better, you damn sure can't say it's not because you didn't know better. Awareness is the game changer. So I thank you for bringing that into realization, Hannah. And I'm going to give you this one too. Check this out. This was on January 1st when we chopped it up about empathy. First month here in Clubhouse. This is one of my quotes that I put up. Do what you can and don't feel guilty for what you can't. Now, here's how this is why I say demonstration. See, if you don't have it in you already because it wasn't extended to you, either when you were a child or as an adult being in a healthy relationship, then hearing a voice like this, hearing a demonstration, hearing other people that have experienced it, it gives you a frame of reference. So if you've never heard this before, because nobody's talked to you about boundaries or anything like that, you never thought about this, here's something to realize. Be willing and open to help. And I'm going to highlight and every time because it's the contrast. Draw real boundaries and limitations. Be willing and open to help and draw real boundaries and limitations. Be available to be of service and don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of, not even the least bit. Be open to suggestions and don't allow anyone to tell you or to dictate to you what you're going to do or not going to do. Be kind and generous and don't allow your kindness to be taken as weakness. Be fluid, open, and mutable, and solid as a rock, clear, focused, and intentional. The only way that you can help another is to do what you can and not feel guilty about what you can't. And like I said before, this was a post I put up where I said I'm in school for psychotherapy to become a professional empath. And that's my goal. And I'm already a empath. So, and then last but not least, when I think about this concept, hello Jatin, thank you for hanging out. When I think about this concept of compassion requires, this is why I like what you said, Hannah. Hello, Ani. This is why I like what you said. Compassion requires the balance of equanimity. Equanimity, just another word for balance. Compassion requires this balance, this equanimity, to acknowledge the suffering or pain of others and of yourself, and to be open to helping while knowing that you cannot solve every problem for everyone, fix the entire world, or force others to make different decisions. That's being compassionate to yourself and to others at the same time. That's the balance. So extending compassion to the point of your own inconvenience is unhealthy and is detrimental, not only to yourself, but also to those who you are trying to assist. So have compassion and empathy, but not at the expense of your own mental or physical well-being, sanity, capacity, or health. Now, I'm going to jump to another part of your mind. Practice from time to time. You can use your right brain for this. Use your right brain. Let's imagine. Practice from time to time focusing on a difficult person and mentally extending phrases of loving kindness toward them. This will help you to develop compassion without being triggered, facing burnout, or putting yourself in harm's way to help them. And you can do this same thing to yourself. Meditate on it. Imagine it. That's how you practice. One of the ways. And that was from my writing, Burnout versus Compassion, from my self-care journey, 10% happier self-care journey. Yes, family. All right, so I want to open up the floor one more time. We're wrapping up this experience in a few minutes, but you know how it is. For me, the thing that is most important to me is that I get the chance to check in, just make sure everybody's all right. You're my friends. That's why I love you. So I want to say that to open up the floor, open up the stage as well. One more time, if you'd like to come to the stage, even if the goal is to just say hey, say good morning, by all means you can. And if there's anyone who has anything that they would like me or us together to stand in accountability with you on, a present life goal, your goal for your day, by all means. Sometimes just sharing out in the open helps you to be even more accountable because you got others there to support you as well. So by all means, if you'd like to come to the stage, throw up a wave. And if not, I say thank you so much, as always, for coming through. First for you, and then here to this space. All right. So with that, everyone, I'm going to give you one of the most powerful quotes. One that I heard where it starts off with this, and then I'll give you my take on it, and then we'll get on about our day. So many of us ask the question at some point in time, like, what's the quote unquote purpose of life? With all that I've studied, all that I've believed, all that I've known, all that I've entertained and considered, I'm convinced that you design your purpose and that it isn't predetermined. When I was younger, I came across this quote where someone was asking, what is life? As in, like, what is the meaning of life? And then the quote followed, what is life? Life is the thing that's happening while you ask yourself the question, what is life? And even at a young age, it brought to realization for me what this thing was all about. It's about being as present as possible. It's about acceptance over expectation. That way you keep your expectation healthy and relevant. It's about being in every moment, taking advantage of it, being honest, being authentic, just being yourself. It's about forgiveness of your perception while you forgive others for what they've done to you. It's about being empathetic to others because they went through something too, which may have made them do that to you. It's about knowing that no matter what the resource, no matter what the source, that there's always something new to learn. And that if we stop asking the questions, that's the end of learning. So it doesn't matter what the philosophy is or theology. If it comes off as having all the answers and no more to figure out about these subjects that we ask ourselves about every day, it shuts off the ability to learn and grow. Because you can't know at that point when you're wrong, because you've ended the song. So what is life? Life is a collection of moments separated by experiences. Choosing consciously to deeply appreciate and experience the amazing moments is what makes it amazing. And being with the not so amazing moments. Where you intentionally place your focus will determine the lens through which you view life. Me, I choose to fully accept not only the good moments, but the not so good. The peace that I have doesn't come from things getting better. Keeping my attitude balanced helps me to appreciate these amazing moments even more while not moving myself from center and staying grounded. When amazing things happen in life, I'm always amazed, but I'm not surprised because life is filled with many things, including amazing moments. And so on that tip, I want to thank you for being amazing. Jatin, Alice, Eunice, Sherry, T, Hannah, Meyer, family, it's been so great today. I want you to have the most amazing day on purpose. And I thank you for just how showing up in this space has been a part of that journey for you today. I'm here every day, same time, same place, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. So I hope to see you tomorrow or another day when you're just around. I'm just a guy who has this telephone line open, just hanging out. So on that tip, Hannah, Meyer, I want to say have a great day to you. And by all means, let's open up our microphones. Let's affirm each other as we go about our day. Have a great day, family.
Have a great day, everyone.
Yes, you too. Nice to meet you, Hannah.
You too.
All right. Peace, Meyer. See you later, broski. Have a great one, everybody. All right.